Alright, so right now we are on Sycamore on the west side of Rice Street, headed west down Sycamore to the old junkyards to see how many are left down here. Like I said, I know for a fact that there may only be one left. But as a young boy, I would come down here, as I said, skip school, and if I wasn't skipping school, I was still here. And you say, well, what the hell were you doing? I was hanging out, stealing shift knobs, hubcaps, and actually back in the day, they used to have all old parts from cars from the 1950s. 1957 Chevy taillights and such. And I would scoop them up and bring them home. So here we are. We're going to turn around here and I'm going to get out. We got a little bit of a backdrop. Alright, so where we are now is we're down on Sycamore, on the west side of Rice Street. What are we down here for? Well, I'm shooting almost like a biography video. The area and myself growing up here in the 1980s off of Rice Street. This is an old junkyard right here. Now you can't see it. This is an old steel fence that runs alongside the railroad tracks. Now one time it was just a chain link fence. And on the other side you had every kind of car from the 1960s, old 1960s vans that would line the entire back wall. Not a very big property, almost shaped like this, kind of cornering off down there. Full of old parts. Skipping school. This was something I did non-stop. I'm going to keep mentioning it because I guess it's just part of how I spent most of my time. And this is what I did. We'd come here to the junkyard and sleep in these damn cars and wait till 3 o'clock. And it was a muddy, greasy thing. Now, there's no way the guys that worked here didn't see me. It was such a small area. I mean, all you'd have to literally do, you could spot me because I'd walk around from car to car. They would never say a word to me. That's the times, that just tells you how much time has changed. We could barely even shoot this on a public street without instantly being asked what we were doing, what we were up to. In those days, I could walk down this street. This was busy with junky cars on both sides of it. Junkyard full, busy, pulling motors, tractors running. And I could walk right in there, unscathed, unbothered, go sit in a Ford Mustang for 30 minutes, 40 minutes, walk up and down, be seen several times, dig into anything I wanted and not be bothered. Those days were golden to me. You say, well, what kind of life is that? Well, for me as a young boy with nothing else to do, that was just awesome climbing in and out of those old cars. So, that history's gone. These buildings, there was one right here, a large garage, and another one center. They burnt down a few years ago. Now this has been rebuilt, land has been sold, someone's storing cars on it. There was a junkyard recycle place in this old steel building here as well. Now I would just go from one to the next, and I would even come down here at night when they were closed. Now they had signs up that said beware of dogs, do not come in here. I never seen a dog ever in there. The center one here did have dogs, but I just stayed out of it. Or actually I just stayed away from where the dogs were. I don't believe they ran free. So, I would come down here, very common, climb the fence or go under it. The gate was so raggedy that it would almost sit like this, and you could just walk almost underneath it. So I probably just, either that or I would shimmy right through it like that. And I'd go in there, and hell, I would pull a Krager tire off of something. I was just a little rat. And that's what you did in those days. You know, you got into trouble. Never got in trouble for it. Am I proud of it? No, definitely not. But that's what you did in the inner city growing up, climbing in and out of junkyards, stealing hubcaps. So that's all gone, right? So what's the point of this video? You say it's just about you? No, it's about a little bit of the history and what used to happen here. Once these buildings, there's one guy left who's selling. Once he's gone, it's going to be a you-pull-it yard, but it will never have that flavor of the 80s and the 70s and the 60s. And these were small businesses owned by, matter of fact, I had come here, this place was still intact and running in 1997, and I had to get a spare tire for an old vehicle. I came here, and I'll be damned, we're the same guys working in the damn shop as when I was a boy skipping out in school. They worked their whole lives in one spot. So, all gone. Nothing but these old shells of buildings left, but you gotta love them, right? At one time, this was so busy, so active. Everyone came here. There were about 4 or 5 junkyards in the area. Now there's only the one, of course, like I mentioned, and then the one with the old Model A on the roof there, and that's it. So there you go, little flavor, little story. Mike coming at you. Hey now.